She is a nurse. She is a nurse leader, a wife, a mother, a community servant leader. She was a student, wearing too many hats at a cost. Burnout. In this powerful episode of Take Charge with Dr. Chichi, Dr. Izoduwa Asoro opens up about leadership burnout, fate, and learning when to pause and take charge. Watch now and be encouraged to protect your peace.
Welcome to Take Charge with Dr. Chichi, where nurses take control, break barriers, and build a future of financial freedom and career success. Whether you're burned out, ready to level up, or looking for the blueprint to thrive, you're in the right place. It's time to lead, grow, and win because your future starts now. Here's your host, Dr. Chichi.
Welcome to Take Charge with Dr. Chichi. Happy New Year once again. This is a platform where healthcare professionals share their stories of burnout, reclaim their peace, power and purpose, and financial breakthrough. Let's grow, lead, and thrive together. Today, we're going to feature a respected nurse leader who has carried immense responsibilities while serving family, profession, faith, and community. Dr. Izoduwa, IZ for short, Dr. Izoduwa Asoro's journey reminds us that leadership does not make one immune to burnout, and that taking charge is an act of wisdom. The theme for this episode is burnout behind leadership, wearing many hats and learning when to take charge. The episode goal would be to highlight burnout at leadership levels and inspire nurses, especially women, to recognize when they are wearing too many hats and learn how to take charge with intention, faith, and boundaries. So Dr. Izzy Asoro is a nurse leader in a medical surgical unit, a former president of Nigerian Nurses Association of Georgia, NNAM, and the current executive director of National Association of Nigerian Nurses in North America, NANA for short. She's a wife, a mother, a grandmother, church leader, entrepreneur, and lifelong learner. Hello and welcome, Dr. Izzy Asoro, to this episode of Take Charge with Dr. Chichi. Hello, Dr.
Hello.
Izzy. Wow, so good to see you.
Hello, everyone. Good evening. Welcome
Good,
to this episode of Take Charge with Dr. Chichi.
good.
This has been something we've been waiting for. I
I
think it was
know,
supposed to be maybe early last year or something.
I know.
But we thank God we're here
Yeah,
today.
I'm glad you finally made it, you know.
Thank you, Dr. Chichi.
Yes,
Thanks
I know
for
you.
having
Thank
me.
you. I know your story will really inspire a lot of people. All right, so
Yes.
let's dive deep, Dr. Izzy. So can
Yeah.
you share your 35-year nursing journey and what inspired your passion for nursing?
Oh, thank you very much for that question, Dr. Chichi.
Yeah.
Um, it's actually 40 years or over in
Oh,
nursing.
wow.
Yeah. I started my nursing career back in Nigeria, in the School of Nursing, UBTH, Benin City, Edo State.
Wow.
In actual fact, when I was growing up, I took care of my father. I assisted in his care as a young child. So my intention, my desire was to be a pharmacist, not a
Wow.
nurse. And the
I
reason
didn't
for
know
that
that.
is no. Then the reason for that is because I never liked that night shift thing that nurses did. I was an early sleeper growing up as a child, so I didn't see myself being able to do that. Unfortunately, my father passed while I was still in high
Oh,
school.
so sorry to hear that.
Yeah. And when that happened, things changed.
Hmm.
Going to university to get somebody to pay. We were five children of the same mother. I'm the second. My oldest sister also was just getting into university. It wasn't an easy thing. So my mom told me it wasn't going to be easy for her to get everybody in school at the same time. So at this time, the only two areas that will pay you while you're in school were the education and nursing. Nursing will pay you while you're in school. They just treated you like you were a worker. Same thing with the education area. So I didn't really like going teaching. So I said, okay, I'll do nursing. Of the two, I chose nursing.
Wow.
I know I've always had interest in helping to take care of my father. So becoming a nurse wasn't a big deal. So I chose nursing, went into school of nursing. I enjoyed it. It was really an enjoyable time because then the hospital paid you. They gave you coffee breaks in
Like
between.
stipend or something like that.
Yeah,
I remember that
stipend.
when I was in nursing
Level
school
4,
too.
so to call then.
Uh-huh.
And when you finish school, they give you a car loan that will purchase at least a Volkswagen, which was something for a young girl who was not even married. So it was really a good experience. And doing all that, I was in Nigeria, got married to my husband, had 3 children, after which we decided to relocate to the United States of America. And when we got here, as it is for most people, you get here and find so many things that you didn't know you were going to be into. So raising children wasn't really very easy for us. But thank God for my mom who came in and supported us all through. And I had another child while I got here. So that made it 4 children now, 4 children. Then I had a child from my godparents added to my children. So I had 5 girls in my house with my
Wow.
mother and my husband. So it was good. I made good money, so it was not really hard to take care of them. My husband was working, and between the two of us, we worked it out. It was really interesting getting all these things done. But one thing that didn't happen is I could not go back to school. At that time, I could not go back to school because I didn't see myself working with all those children at home, going
It
to
wasn't going to
school.
be easy.
So I put that on hold. So that was the only bad side to it. But every other thing went well. The children were doing well in school. So everything went fine. Got a job, switched jobs at one time or the other. And there's no unit or no area of nursing I've not really worked except two, the OR, operating room, and the intensive care unit. I didn't do those. Every other area I have been in and out at one point or the other.
At one point,
And it's been a good journey. It's been a good
Wow,
journey.
that's amazing. That's amazing. I never knew the part that you wanted to be a pharmacist and you ended up
Yes.
in nursing. And you're
Yes.
doing an awesome job as a nurse, Dr. Izzy.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Thank you
So
so much.
yes, you have worn many hats at once, right? And
Yes.
I want to find out, how did you manage family leadership, career, faith, and education simultaneously?
Okay, that's a good one. In fact, I wore about 6 or 7 hats at the same time. But I never saw it as a problem until one day I recounted all of these things and told myself, oh no, you can't do this. Because every time I'm busy doing one thing or the other. But even in all of this, one thing myself and my husband have always done, we take one day out together, nobody, we just go to anywhere we want to go to, sit, talk, just remind ourselves of when we just met each other and those kind of things. In fact, we still do it. So, with that going on, I didn't really feel pressured or stressed about all of those. But gradually, I started looking at it. At a point, I started as a child to somebody, my mother's daughter, a mother to my children, a wife to my husband. Those are 3 roles already. A worker. Then in the community, I will serve in the church. My thing is, if I put my name down for anything, I'm all in it. So I'm usually one of the first to get to church. maybe one of the last to leave. That went on the side. And in the community still, at one point, I was also the president for Nigerian Nurses Association of Georgia. That's not an easy role either. That was going on simultaneously. And in the church, I had two departments that I ran. In fact, this is when I said, I will go back to school. The kids are growing up. I need to improve on myself. So I went back to school. All of these things put together, it wasn't an easy thing. Alongside with this, when I just got out of school, I started thinking of starting a business. So I put this business together, New Beginners Health Care Incorporation. It was going, the money wasn't really coming in yet. So it was still a struggle, still trying to take classes to know the business better and all of that. But one day, the calls from the state trying to make rounds and check on the business and all of that, most times they were always calling me at the wrong time when I'm at work. So I just sat down, thought about the whole thing and said, you know what? Yes, I need that money from the business, but I still have a job, a good job going on. So I don't really need to stress all through this to get these finances better. So I dropped that business. I sold it.
Wow.
To take one hat off. Because it was the newest, like they say in, what is it? When you are the last to come, you are the first to go. So the business was the last to come, so it was the first to go. And I got out of school, so that made two things off.
That's good.
Shortly after, my godparents' daughter relocated back to Nigeria, so that was another load off. It got better. So the first thing was recognizing this, reevaluating the situation. Then I sort of settled in the areas that were left.
Yes. So, you know how they say that burnout comes in a very subtle way.
Yeah.
It's just gradual. Sometimes you don't even know you're going through it till it's just obvious. So when did you first recognize the signs of burnout, and what did burnout look like for you?
The first time I started feeling it, in fairness, I didn't even call it burnout then. It's just the stress of I'm coming back from work. I'm thinking of the next thing I'm going to do while I'm driving home. And I really, when I get home, I'm thinking of what is going to happen next. So it's like every time I sit, I'm thinking of what next to do, what next to do. That's when I started feeling, this is just too much. It doesn't have to be this way.
Yes.
So I started reevaluating what can go, what can I drop to make all this running around easy. And like I said, I dropped that business because it added to my stress.
Yes.
I dropped it. Then my school was over. That was when I did my BSN. Then after that, my other daughter left. So it got better and the girls were growing. So the needs improved. Now they were driving themselves, so I didn't need to drive everybody.
That's one less stress. When they start driving, it's exciting.
But the way it came in, I never really called it burnout, but I just felt it's just too much to go on at the same time. I found myself in everything, everywhere. It wasn't too good.
So how did leadership expectation impact your mental and emotional well-being?
That's a big one. Effects of leadership responsibilities are numerous.
Yes.
But the first few I'm going to talk about will be one, the work-life balance.
Work-life balance. I like that one.
Yes, work-life balance. Leadership roles and responsibilities can be really challenging. Leadership roles and personal life can be competing with each other, especially when it's a leadership role, there is no time assigned to it. So people can call you any time of the day, in the morning, at night, early hours of the day, whenever they think there's a problem, they call you. that becomes challenging.
Mm.
But when it's like leadership role attached to your job, a 9 to 5 job, 8 to 4 job, you know when you're not working, there's no call. But some responsibilities, they have no time cutoff. So you get calls at any time. It's now for you to be intentional. As a leader, you have to be intentional, where you have to have some cutoff in some areas of what you do, because you need a work-life balance in the leadership role. You have a family, so you
So
can't
with
be
it,
on the phone all the time. Just
no, you
take
cannot. At some point, you got to get some rest, you know. So I wanted to find out if there were moments when financial or professional responsibility made it difficult for you to slow down.
Not really. Just like I said earlier when I was speaking, I have a good job. So getting that business was just like, okay, start something as you get older, something to slide into and all of that. That was the purpose of that business at that time. Unfortunately, the stress it brought at the moment, at that time, was too much for me to handle along with other things. So leaving it was not really a problem for me, because if it was a financial problem, I wouldn't have let the business go. So finance was not really the problem, because I was working, my husband was working, and we tried to live within our means. So finance wasn't really a problem. It wasn't one reason I would have stayed in that stressful life for so long.
Yeah. So you shared a little bit about this, about the turning point that made you realize that something had to change,
Yes.
especially with the home care business. But generally, was there any other event that made you realize there was a turning point, that something had to change?
Yeah, I was just busy. I just noticed I was always busy. So at the point, I'm like, When I'm driving really fast because I'm thinking of what I'm going to do next. Even as I'm getting home, I already have everything set in my mind what I'm going to do. So this was just like a day-to-day thing. That's when I said no. I was happy I was able to recognize it, because that's the first problem. When you don't recognize what the problem is,
Exactly.
it stays on
Exactly.
for too long. So
Yep.
when I recognized this situation, in fact, I shared it with my husband. I'm like, you know what? I just think I'm doing too much. And like, what are you doing? Yes, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I'm doing that. You still have to respond to any other thing outside of all of these things that you're doing. Somebody's going to call from Nigeria, they have issues. You are involved in it. Whether you're there in physical or not, you are kind of involved in it. So I just felt something needed to be done at that point.
Yeah. You just mentioned your husband. So the question I also want to ask you is, how did your faith and support system help you through that season?
There is this passage in the Bible, 2 Corinthians, that
Yeah.
says, God will not allow us to go through any situation we
That's
cannot
right.
bear. And that passage encourages me no matter how bad my situation. I have 2 passages like that in the Bible that I use. That one is the one I will call first and say, you know what? If I'm in it, God has a purpose for it.
That's
And
right.
now my prayer point for me becomes, Lord, whatever you want me to learn from this situation, please help me. Because if I don't, it's going to be a repeat. And I don't want to repeat. I don't want to go through this again.
I like that.
So
I like that.
that was one area that I used a lot. Coupled with the fact that when this started, I sought help from my faith community.
Good.
I had a sister, a church sister then, because I go to a different church now, then, who had children also younger than my children, but she was a full-time housewife. So she was a stay-home mom, as they call it. Sometimes when I'm really booked to my limit, I'll call her and say, where are you? Oh, I'm home. Oh, I just got back from picking up the kids. That's okay. Can you pick up my daughter from lessons or from whatever thing she's doing this week?
Wow.
And she will do it.
That was a
Every
good
now and
support
then,
system.
yeah. Every now and then we just share dinner, lunch, whatever we want to share together, just to make her feel appreciated.
Yes.
And that was a big support. The church too also supported because they had things for children on the weekend.
Activities, yeah.
So sometimes it's easier to say, okay, I'm going to drop you off at the church. You have this going on, and at least I have some time to myself. So that helped. And my husband was very supportive.
Yeah, that's good.
Very supportive. When the kids were growing, when they were growing up, some of my friends could tell when I was working on the weekend because there's a particular hairstyle he would do if they're going to a party that weekend.
Oh, he used to fix the hairstyle.
Just put a straight line down from the front to the back.
The back, and then hold it on this.
There you go. So when people see them in parties, they say, oh, your mom is working this weekend. So
and that's easy, and it works too. Oh my goodness. All right. So sometimes we go through several episodes of burnout, right? The question that I want to ask you now, what does taking charge look like for you now? At least when you take charge the first time, that means you've recognized there's a problem or there's an issue. After that, at least you know how to continuously take charge so it doesn't drag you down. Yeah. So what does taking charge look like for you now?
Now, taking charge is first recognizing that there is a problem.
That's right.
Because if you don't, it's going to linger on for a while.
That's right.
And now, once you recognize it, you sit to reevaluate the situation. This is me. I'll sit to say, okay, why are these things really problems right now? Reevaluating them, then looking at the goals of each of them. Is the goal still a goal at this time? Because there are some goals you set, after a while, they're no longer your goals.
That's right.
Once I do that reevaluation, some things that are not really that important at that time will have to be dropped.
Wow.
Yes,
that was
they
a
will
good
have
one.
to go. Then I do engage in mindfulness.
Oh, wow.
Mindfulness, yeah.
Wow, yes.
Because sometimes while I'm still thinking of what is this, what should go and what not should go, I do a lot of mindfulness.
That's good.
Then, last but not the least, support. When I say support, it could mean asking, okay, children, going forward, I will need somebody to do A, B, C, somebody else doing this. Then it's less for me to do. Because at one time, that was what we did.
Yes.
You are in charge of the stairwell. So anything goes wrong on the stairwell, I'm going to hold you.
That's your problem.
You are in charge of the kitchen. But when that happens, they take responsibility. They don't let somebody else mess it up.
That's right.
So I did that, and it helped me.
That's right. You cannot do it all.
So I transferred that now into my leadership role, both at work, in the community.
Delegation.
Where you delegate. There you go.
Yes. Yeah. So the question I asked you
is to delegate right. Because if you give it to the wrong person,
you're in trouble.
You're doing it by yourself.
And you'll even create more anxiety and more problem for yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what you just told me is what taking charge looks like for you. So my next question is, what does taking charge mean to you?
Taking charge to me is doing the right thing, taking care of yourself.
Okay. Taking care of yourself.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because those things that we will refer to as burnout now are things affecting you. It might not affect your spouse the way it's affecting you. So identifying it as a burnout or stress or exhaustion or whatever you want to call it is you taking charge and
you
taking care of yourself.
That's right. I like that, taking care of yourself.
That's right.
So there are points that you made that I've really picked, and it's very important. Being aware first, recognizing there's an issue, and then taking charge of yourself, which is taking care of yourself. So you've made those very major points. So on that note, what advice do you have for nurses and leaders wearing too many hats? Because you've worn too many hats before now, and
Sometimes,
still wearing some hats.
sometimes some of those hats you cannot avoid them.
Mm-hmm,
You
mm-hmm,
cannot avoid being a mother, being a
mm-hmm.
wife, being a daughter to somebody, and
Being a grandma.
now a grandma. See, is increasing and
Mm-hmm.
serving in the community. So all of these things are things that are necessary. But
Yes,
see where you are as a person. I tell people now, some of the things, some of the roles I take now are roles I would never have taken 15 years ago.
that's right.
Why?
It comes
Because
in
my
seasons.
responsibilities then would not have allowed me to do it.
That's right.
But now things are better. I'm freer in some areas, so I can take on more responsibilities. So I advise people, yes, when people know you are good, they will come to you. They will delegate things to you.
Mm-hmm.
Know your limit. Know your limit
Limit.
and know when to say no.
That's
Not
right.
because you are lazy, but if you're already in three different departments in a community, in a church, and somebody comes to the fourth, please, by all means, let them know it's going to be challenging because that's going to affect your productivity
That's
in
right.
all of them.
That's right.
So
That's
people should know their limits and know when to say no.
yes.
There are some
I
responsibilities you can run away from, like
mhm.
some of them I mentioned, being a wife, mother, being a worker that is really working as an employee or doing your business. Those you cannot run away from. But at the same time, you need to know your limits.
That's right.
Don't take on too much more than you can handle.
That
Yes, ma'am.
makes a lot of sense. It's time for rapid fire questions. Are you ready?
Oh, okay. Yes, ma'am. Let's go.
All right. So, what is that one word that describes your journey?
Evolution.
Evolution. Wow.
Yes.
So, tea, coffee, or smoothie?
Coffee
Wow. How do you like your coffee?
with plenty of creamer.
All right.
I have a
It,
close friend who will tell me, you're drinking creamer, not coffee.
all right. Is scripture or quote that grounds you?
Jeremiah 29:11.
Jeremiah 29. Okay. I know the
The
plans. Good.
plans I have for you are of good and not of evil to bring you to an expected end, says the Lord.
I like that.
This scripture gives me divine assurance, hope, and prosperity, and a lot of encouragement. No matter how bad the situation is, even when the world is clapping or falling off or laughing, I stand
God already had that planned
with
out
my
for you.
head tall because I know in that situation, His name will be glorified. It might
Yes,
not be at that time, but I will see it
that's right. And everything will work out together for his own
for
good.
good. Yeah.
Yeah, for them that love God. That's amazing.
There you go. Thank you for completing that.
So one lesson burnout taught you.
Know my limits
Mm,
and know when to say no.
no one to say no. That's the difficult one though.
Yes.
I had someone on the show and he said that he found it so difficult to say no that at some point he thought it was like it will look like he's a weak person if he said no, but at some point in his life, he had to learn how to say no.
It is
He thought
hard.
out it's hard, but
It's
you have to
hard,
do
but
that for your
you have to get to a point in life where your integrity also matters.
that's right.
Integrity is being who you are at all times. I
That's
don't want to accept responsibility because I want to make you happy. Then I'm cutting corners to do that job. No.
right. That's right.
So,
You're right. Yeah.
and I bring that to people when I'm at the point of saying no. I bring that to people's attention. I say, do you want me to accept this and cut corners around it? No. You want me to sign up for this committee or whatever, then I don't show up. No. So please, if you don't
Yes.
mind, next
I
time.
mean, I've found myself seeing a lot of no's. I mean, even in church, a lot of I mean, I had to teach myself to say, I cannot do this. If you want me to do well in it, then just accept what I just told you. I mean, I found myself saying that because if you take on that role, like you said, you can never do well. If
I
you can
learned
never
it.
give
It
it your
was
best, if
hard.
you have a, yes, it makes it harder. Right.
It was hard. I had to learn to say no.
No.
Because
So
when
let me,
people, when you do
mhm.
things right, people tend to come to you.
That's right. That's right.
In the
You're right.
community, in the church, at
Hmm.
work, you see that good workers are the people you always call first.
Yes.
So, but you have to say, thank you for recognizing my ability. I'm so sorry, not at
I'm
this
telling
time.
you, sometimes I feel guilty, when my bishop will approach me for different roles. And I say, look, I'm already doing this. I am so sorry I cannot do this. He said, but you do all in the community. What about you? I said, I'm already doing something in church. Adding to this responsibility is not going to be
It's going to
easy.
be easier.
Yeah. If you want me to do it well, then the best thing for me to do is tell you that I cannot do it. But if I take on it, no, I'm telling you, because I have to be honest. Because if you just say yes on everything, then you find yourself, you're going to burn
That,
yourself out
of
so
course,
much that,
of
yeah.
course.
And then if something happens, someone is going to say, oh, you should have said that. So,
There you
I mean,
go.
I don't have problems saying
Why
no.
didn't
And
you
I'll tell
say
you,
no?
yeah, why didn't you
Mhm.
say no? Yeah. So, Dr. Izzy, what is that one thing you now do to protect your peace?
Just like I told you earlier, I will say no if I know it's going to cost me my peace.
That's right.
If it has to be something that is involving life
Mm-hmm.
and death for me
Mm-hmm.
to push through when I know I cannot do it.
Yes.
But if it's not involving life and death situation, I will come out to tell you why I cannot do it. And I will try to make you understand
Mm.
why I cannot do it. Because
That's right.
I think it's better for me to have my peace than to try to help you have your peace, then I don't have mine.
That's right. All right. Well, thank you so much. This is time for listeners' reflection prompt. What hats are you wearing that are draining you? And where do you need to set boundaries? We just talked about it, about how to set boundaries, saying no. So, what would taking charge look like for you this season? Most people are stuck in their jobs or in an environment that is burning them out. So the question you have to ask yourself is, am I staying in a burnout due to financial fear? What planning or support will help me transition wisely? So if Dr. Isaac's story encouraged you, subscribe and share this episode with a colleague, your friend, another healthcare professional, leader, or family member. Burnout does not define your leadership. Knowing when to pause is strength. Dr. Isaac's story reminds us that taking charge begins with self awareness and courage. So remember, you too can take charge of your health, your career, and future. Your setbacks do not define you. So, with courage and vision, you can take charge of your health, your career, and your future. Burnout is not your identity. You're not alone. You were created for more peace, more purpose, more power. You have the power to rewrite your story. Don't settle. Take charge because your future starts now. Your well being matters. Your purpose is too valuable to burn out. Until next time, take charge. Bye
Thank you,
bye.
Dr. Chichi. Thanks for having me. Thank you,
Thank you.
everyone, for listening. God bless you.
Thank you so
Bye.
much for coming. I appreciate you.
You're welcome. Thank
Uh,
you. See you
Thank
some
you.
other time.
All right. Thank
Take Charge with Dr. Chichi is a brand of Sparkling Star Development Strategies LLC. The information provided is for educational purposes only and does not constitute financial, legal, or medical advice. Financial services are offered independently by Dr. Chichi in accordance with applicable licensing and regulatory standards. Thank you for watching.